Give it my best. I wonder if I'm good enough.
All right, H girl, the true lady. You already know what I'm doing. Is spilling everyone's tea but my own, and I'm sitting down with my boy X. What's good?
What's up?
You doing all right?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
All right. I've been anticipating this interview since we sat down and talked in my office.
Right. Same here.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you had a chance to finally make it here.
Right.
And appreciate you for, sitting down with me as well.
Likewise.
Now, X, let the people know a little bit about yourself as a person as well as an artist.
Okay, as a person, my name is Devontae Xavier. So, that's where the Xavier comes from. I'm a single father of one. He lives with me. I got custody of him. So,
Okay.
got to do the father thing.
Right.
I was raised pretty much in music. Since I can remember back, my dad playing music, being in the studio with him. He's a musician himself.
Yeah.
As well as a CEO of Throne Room Music Studio. So, shout out to Dex.
Right.
And that's really where the foundation for me came in to as becoming an artist, because I feel like we all have our ways of venting and, channeling our aggression and things like that. But for me, it was more of a thing of, how do I really say how I feel and what do I channel it into?
Right.
So growing up, I listened to Tupac, Biggie, they were storytellers, one of the best, one of the GOATs, and just being around that, I really started to channel my thoughts and my hurts and my pains, my anger and aggression into writing.
Yes.
So one day I just begged Dex, like, man, please just let me record something. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the funny part was he was like, nah, man, you ain't serious, So I went to my mom and I was like, he ain't letting me record.
Right.
Like, so
me.
you know what I'm saying? I've been watching this and I've been like a little sponge soaking it all in.
Yes.
So, my mom went to him, she was like, hey, he's serious. So, he took me in the studio, he played a track, and I was able to record it or something. I ain't gonna get into the discussion of what it was, because, it wasn't all that great.
But it doesn't matter. You took this time to record.
And it I really feel like that was the start of me actually becoming musically like where I am today.
Right.
Because that allowed me a outlet to put my pain into and put my anger and frustrations, instead of just bottling it all in.
Right.
And eventually one day it just burst
out, and then it's
horrible. Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people, though, like, they don't have that outlook to where they're like, you know what, I could channel my hurts and pains into this instead. Right. Because everybody, to some extent, I feel like everybody holds something in.
Definitely.
And I feel like, being able to grow musically, I'm able to channel all of that. And not only just write music just to say, I do music, but also at the same time, write a song to where a person might hear it and be like, you know what, okay, I'm going through that. I can get through this just like he did.
Exactly.
So that's definitely, a major thing for me.
Right now, relatability is the thing. Like, that's the whole wave right now, to have people to relate to you, relate to your music, your daily life, your daily struggles, because I think I told you this. That's the importance of social media right now.
Right.
Most artists are not just basing their fan base off music. They're using their relatability, their life struggles, their uprisings to inspire individuals, and once they feel that, they're gonna gravitate towards you.
Right.
So with you saying, you putting all your hurt and your pain and everything you went through in your music, just think about the 20,000 other people that have been in your place, been in the same position you have. So that's definitely what's needed right now, because there's a lot of trash that's going around in the music industry right now. So that's definitely needed. But why do you feel it's important for X to come out right now to make this is your grand debut to the world? Honestly,
I feel like, I wouldn't say it's like the perfect time per se. I feel like it's a thing of I'm in my own lane.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they're in competition with other hip hop artists, or for Xavier, I'm in a competition with myself.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday, and if I'm not, I got a problem with that.
Right.
So every song that I do, up to this point. Like I've already released a mixtape, which is on my website, imyoungkingin.com. I've released King Season. I've recently dropped an album called 92. So, you know, check that out. But if you listen to those progressively, you will find that I have, like, you're getting a different piece of me every time.
Right.
You know, and it's more of a ladder of, okay, he's becoming more of a man. Like, you're watching my growth in sections.
Right.
You know, so I wouldn't per se, like, it's the perfect time for me to come out right now. But the thing is, I feel like people need to know that it's okay to be yourself. And that's where I'm at now in my music career. It's like, okay, this is who Xavier is. Because too many times, you know, people go through life and it's like they're not accepted by society, or, you know, they feel a certain type of way. When where I'm at now, it's like, look, I mean, everyone's going to have their opinion of you no matter what. Like, opinions are everywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, you have your own opinion on what kind of music is good, what kind of music is bad. You you have your own opinion of what food tastes good and what food doesn't. So my thing now is, you know, people are people. You know, it's not to justify that I'm the best to ever do it, or I'm doing this because, you know, I don't care. No, this is me accepting myself. And more so now, I feel like the world needs to understand it's okay to be who you are, no matter what circumstances you've been through. Because at the end of the day, we've all put ourselves in tough times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, even though it might be a tough pill to swallow, man, you are who you are.
Right.
So that's definitely why I feel like it's more of a now thing. It's like, okay, look, we can all come together and say, look, we got our faults. Let's lift each other up, though.
Definitely.
You know?
So, you know, you talk a lot about your progression. So what have you noticed about yourself from this moment on to when you very first started recording?
Oh, man, there's so much. Well, definitely the depth that I write about, because I've experienced more life. Like, I'm a father now.
Right.
You know, I have a 6-year-old son. I'm raising him.
Right.
Compared to when I was younger, it's like I didn't really understand life. You know, I mean, when you're a kid, your parents tell you, you know, right from wrong. You know, I had a time where I was rebellious, you know, and I wanted to do my own thing. and you know, that caused me to have some life experiences, you know. So definitely this the things that I've seen through life, you know what I'm saying, both just growing and as well as the things that I put myself through.
Right.
Heartbreak, you know, financial struggle, you know, frustrations just from everyday life, putting yourself in positions to where, you know, you got some down times and, you know, you don't know how you're going to get out of this.
Right.
You know, that's definitely been part of my progression, but as well as, you know, just being up under my CEO, Dex, of Throne Room Music, you know what I'm saying? He definitely speaks a lot of life into everyone that's in the Throne Room Music studios, you know what I'm saying? Because he's like, look, I've had the ability to have creative control over my music. Like, he hasn't steered me in any way of, you got to talk about this or you got to talk about that. So throughout my life, I've been able to grow and really jot down in music, like, okay, this is an experience I've had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a story I want to tell today with this.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then a lot of times, you know, it's just being able to truly accept who I am. Like, that's really been a huge progression part.
Exactly.
Because you could tell some parts in my music where it's like, okay, he's trying to find
who
Xavier is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people definitely struggle with that, even still up in age. A lot of people.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, because I think, like, right now I'm on my own path to like I know who I am, but I'm letting the world know who I am, and that this is what you're getting. I'm not changing unless I really have the desire to change. But this is me. This is why I do what I do. And I think a lot of people are on that path right now with themselves.
Right. And I know a lot of times, you know, it might be hard for a person who doesn't have anybody to be open with, you know what I'm saying, or to actually guide them to where, like, look, it's okay, you're gonna fall a couple of times, you know what I'm saying, as long as you ain't doing it purposely, to where you can have a pitfall and be like, man, look, I messed up again, you know what I'm saying. But as long as you have the drive to really seek out who you are, you know, that is the biggest thing. I feel like some people, they're afraid because I mean, society is like, if you ain't this way, you ain't nothing.
I mean, it's a hard thing to look in the mirror itself.
Exactly.
Most people like, oh no. It's a hard thing to look at self and to see your ugly truths. It's
right.
like, oh wow. Oh.
Exactly.
It's a hard thing to embrace that. So anybody saying that it's easy, they're lying to themselves and you as well.
Right. Right.
So definitely, I totally agree. But I want to touch on your son a bit. You know, why is it important for you to, you know, be a strong father figure to him and do the music? Like, why is it important to him?
Man, it's really big because my dad always instilled in me that you know, you be there for your responsibilities. You know, I feel like whenever I was growing up, my dad was there, you know, as much as he could be, because my parents got divorced when I was 2.
Yeah.
And he always made that effort to make sure I knew that he was there for me.
Exactly.
Like,
that's
even
important.
though like they weren't together, I knew my dad loved me. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. And I know he fought to make sure I knew that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I didn't see a lot of kids that had that same connection with their dad that I had.
Right.
You know, so I mean, I give it up to God that I had that connection and that I still do. Like, I talk to my dad every day. Like, that's my dude. Like, we solid. You know what I'm saying? So when I have my son, I wanted to make sure like that I had that same connection that I have with my dad growing up, you know, because it was like a sense of security,
right?
You know, that you have growing up as a kid, an African American boy,
exactly.
You know, that society says that your dad ain't supposed to be around,
right?
You know, and it's weird because it's not normal for African American male to have a father figure,
right?
You know, like, and my dad broke that mold. And I wanted to make sure I broke that mold as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I might not get it right all the time, but I know for myself, I want to show my son, look, you know, you always got me. I'm always here for you, and build that bond, because a lot of kids out here don't have that. And that's very, very important in today's society to be there. And as an artist, it's like showing him, look, Dad's becoming who he is. You're able to express yourself however you want to express yourself. Dad's ways music, and even now, like, he'll sing my songs, and he's like, I feel that, you know?
Right.
So it's definitely a blessing, and I guess it's tradition, man. My dad was there for me. Like, I gotta keep that tradition alive.
Man,
you know?
So seeing that you influence him, not even just with the music, but with your life decisions, like, how does that make you feel?
Oh man, it's a feeling that can't be imitated. Like, for real, like I don't think there's any other greater feeling in the world, you know?
Yeah, but I've always, back to, like, black dads in our homes for the black community, I've definitely said that, you know, society wants to diminish the black man and try to hide him and make him small, and not only with society, because he has against, I've said it, has a conversation, he has this against him. He has himself against him because he's beating himself up on the inside. He has the black woman against him because some black women definitely can belittle the black man and not treat him how he needs to be treated. And he definitely has the white man and white women against him. So it's like all odds are against him. Instead of, like, uplifting the black man, we just still shun him away. And I feel like it's hard.
I mean, with that, I just feel like me finding myself and who I am, it speaks volumes for you, because if you walk in confidence, not arrogance, but if you walk in confidence and you know who you are, you know, it's something different about you.
Right.
And people are going to see that.
And they're going to attract to it, gravitate to it. It's like a magnet.
Know, and then at the same time, there's some people that's going to feel some type of way about it because you know who you are, you know? And I feel like that is huge. Like, I've watched my father. My father is, like, very well respected, you know, because he knows who he is and he's about business, you know, and he opposed himself to a standard. And I guess for me seeing that coming up, it's like, okay, I want that, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand, like, everything you say is true, but it's like when you hold yourself to a different level, like, people got to hold you to that level.
Right,
you
definitely.
Know what I'm saying?
You break that stigma.
Yeah, like okay, you might feel this way about me, but look, you treat me like I'm sitting up here. Like, you gotta treat me,
I'm really
meet
the
me
king
up there.
right
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when you do that, they can't come at you no kind of way.
All
Like if I'm
facts.
up here, you can't come to me. Like I see you down there, you know what
All
I'm saying?
facts.
And like it's crazy, like, but I've seen this with my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like they tried to come at him down here when he like he flying like an eagle. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that's where the vultures at down there. I ain't one of them. So it's definitely like I feel like it's being a black man in America. You gotta hold yourself to a certain level.
Definitely.
Because if you don't, people gonna treat you how they want, regardless. So if you hold yourself at that top level, you gotta treat me on that level, you know?
Exactly.
And if you don't, you get checked.
Right.
Like,
I'm gonna let you know real quick.
right. Don't come at me like that, because I know, you know? And it's but it's a great thing, because what I feel like how I've grown up is not usual circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Because it is different, you know, not having your dad there, but he is there.
Right.
You know, people can't come at me no kind of way, because I've seen this, like I've seen how a black male should uphold itself in society, you know what I'm saying? And not take no belittlements or, you know, anything like that. So it's like I hold myself to that same standard.
Right.
You know, and it's like it's an everyday fight though, you know, because at the same time you do still have those stigmas. If the person doesn't know you, they still gonna take their shots.
They're gonna try.
You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta aim high, you know what I'm saying? You go low, I go high.
All facts.
That's just what it is.
So who do you say influences you in your music?
Oh man. Whew. I got so many. Of course Dex, man, like if you haven't heard his music, man, go iTunes, that he's on iTunes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Dex the album, that's the actual name. Like that album had a lot of influence on me. My band mates, you know what I'm saying, my label mates, we push each other.
Okay.
You know, so it's definitely shout out to DeVille, you know what I'm saying, Jay, shout out to y'all, you know what I'm saying, we push each other all the time. Underdog, you know, big love. As far as mainstream, I want to say Kendrick Lamar, definitely. I was listening to Kendrick when he's dropping like Overly Dedicated and Section 80. You know, those records right there. Tupac, Biggie, you know. I was young, but, you know, I still listen to him. Like, when I was younger, me and my girlfriend, I thought he was really talking about his girlfriend.
Right.
And when I get older, dude talking about a whole gun.
Right.
And I'm like, bruh, like it's two different meanings to this. Like, hold on, I'm sitting here mind blown at like 15.
Right.
Like, this dude was talking about his piece.
Yeah,
like,
the whole
when I was,
time.
and it's just like, man, like wordplay like that, man. I mean, man, like, music ain't the same no more.
Music
you know what I'm saying?
isn't. And it's so crazy that you bring up Biggie and Tupac, because right now Kodak Black is saying that he is a legend on the same level as Biggie and Tupac. And of course, you know, the internet is trying to run him up out of here about that. But how do you feel? Do you think?
I mean, honestly, as an artist, you're entitled to your own opinion. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? I mean, I'm not in his lane, so I mean, if he feels that way in his lane, I mean, he feel like that in his lane. But you know, I'm in my lane. I feel like I'm the greatest to do it in my lane. You know, I feel like as an artist, you gotta feel yourself. Like if nobody, like for me, if nobody listens to my music, I'm still gonna jam my music.
Right.
Like I'm listening to Headache. Like, man, this thing jam. You know. So I mean, no shade to Kodak, man.
Yeah,
I mean, he's in his own lane, you know. He's gonna do what he's gonna do, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to him, bro. Like, if you feel that way, you feel that way. Like, I feel like I've got a song where I feel like, you know, it's one of the best. So I feel like if you're not an artist and you don't push yourself to be GOAT status, you know, if that's his way to push yourself to GOAT status, hey, all power to you, dog. You know, I mean,
Jacquees did it.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, I feel like every artist got a certain way to try to push themselves to get better. You know, that's like I said, that's not my lane. But if you do it, you do it.
Right. I feel you.
For sure.
All right. So you brought up Headache, which is the EP, but let's talk about the single Delusional a bit and paint this picture so people know when they click play what they're gonna hear.
Okay. Delusions, man. Delusions came from me being in a tough time that I put myself in. You know, I feel like a lot of times we don't really want to deal with our self-inflicted wounds that we go through life. A lot of times we just want to throw that self-inflicted wound to the side and blame anybody else, or, you know, man, the struggle is real. You know what I'm saying? But delusions was definitely my way of dealing with the situation I got myself into. And the thing is, like, I exposed my mindset throughout the entire course of it. Because I feel like a lot of times people are afraid to share that they, you know, this is my fault. You know, it's very rarely you're going to hear somebody say, that's on me. You know, unless you got to get them in a corner and make them say it. You know, delusions is like, look, like, you're in a delusion.
Right.
Like,
you're holding yourself accountable.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like the whole situation is in delusions. It's like from overcoming to accepting to dealing with the situation. That's what delusions is. And it's honestly like a letter to the listeners, like, okay, look, I messed up.
Right.
I'm struggling with it, but this is how you overcome it.
Right.
And then the end, it's like I've been all in my head the entire time.
Wow.
So it's like I've been stuck in my head with this situation when I really didn't even need to.
Right.
You know?
I think people overthink a lot of things in life.
Yes.
So definitely that's how you get stuck in your own thoughts.
Exactly.
I know I've definitely been there.
Right? Because it's like you just keep yourself trapped, man.
Yes.
And if you think about it, like when you really just all in your head about a situation, it takes up so much time. And you got so much time that's lost, so many days, months, might even be years.
Right.
You know, instead of just like dealing with it, be like, look, okay, look, that's a self-inflicted wound. I'm gonna patch myself up, put a little Lubriderm on there, and we're gonna get it right. Yeah. So definitely that's what delusions is.
So when people listen to the EP, what will they gather from you? What section of your life will they hear about?
Okay. Well, the EP's Headache, and Headache is really me overcoming society and myself, because it's like society's telling you need to be this way, and then you're fighting yourself because you know who you're supposed to be. Right. And it's a tangle, like twisted mindset of trying to find yourself as well as the world standard. Right. You know, and Headache is my way of saying, look, this is my standard. This is who I am. You know, so it's like a mixture of me overcoming my mindset. It's a mixture of me checking the society, be like, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm never going back to who I used to be. Like, this is who you get now. Right. And, you know, after all that said and done, we toasting to the good life. Like, me and the fam, it's a party now. Like, we overcame this headache, and now we in a better part of life. Like, we on a ladder, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, it's only up from here. Right. So Headache is like all in a nutshell, like me becoming and overcoming. Okay. You know.
And how can they find Headache?
Headache is actually going to be on all streaming services, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, anything you could think of, it's going to be on there.
What day?
March 30th.
Oh wow, that's this Friday. So make sure you guys stream Headache on Tidal, Spotify, iTunes. Right. I mean anywhere. Wherever you see your music.
Honestly, and I mean they can even follow my Insta. I mean all social medias is Xavier #4 TRM. I mean I got links posted up there. Yes. And everything. The website's posted up there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't miss it.
Oh, definitely.
You know, and that's just a little fraction of what's coming. You know what I'm saying? We got albums and EPs lined up for days coming out of Throne Room Music. So
they ready.
Oh man, we stay ready. What you talking about?
So question, you know, of course you want everyone to embrace who you are, but why was it important for you to embrace who you are? Like, when did that happen for you to say, like, I'm living a life of someone else and not myself?
I feel like it was whenever I looked at my son and he was like, it just comes a point in time where it's like, this person depends on me, you know, and how can I raise somebody when I don't know who I am? So it's like, I'm just raising another person that will eventually not know who he is. Right. You know, and how detrimental of a father would I be? Man. if I put him in a position where I can't truly give him the right guidance,
where he's lost
in a world that's gonna down him anyway, you know. So why would I put a child through that? You know what I'm saying? So for me, that was really my turning point, where I had to look my son in his eyes and be like, look, bro, like, Dad's gonna get it right. Because if I don't change, I don't even know who I am. Right. I'm just gonna raise you, and you gonna not know who you are. You know what I'm saying? That's really all society is. Like, society tells you if you don't make like a 6-figure salary, you're not rich. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or
that's not true.
If you ain't driving a Ferrari, like, you ain't got a good car. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if you making, I don't know, 40 grand a year, and you got peace of mind, you winning. Like, you ain't got no stress on your head.
You
like,
own some stuff, you good.
Yeah. So I feel like that was definitely the point that I had to get to, because, you know, I don't want my child growing up and not knowing who he is, and then he have kids, and it's just like a continuous cycle. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's so crazy that you say that, because, like, I don't have children right now, but I think about those things, because we as parents we're responsible for creating and molding an individual that come into this world. It's like we're helping create personalities. We're helping create mindsets, whether they're closed or open. Like, that's what parents are here for. And I think some people don't take it as serious and think of it in that manner. So for it to hit you and say, wait, I can't let him just wander in this world. You know what I'm saying? I need to put him on some type of path for himself. So definitely that. I commend you for that.
Appreciate that.
Definitely commend you for that. So make sure you guys get Headache the EP.
Yes, check that out.
This Friday on all streaming platforms. Also the single Delusional. You can check that out. I'm really excited about this. Yeah. So again, how can they find you online?
Social medias, it's gonna be Xavier 4 TRM. I mean, you can't miss it. Like, I'm on everything. So Xavier 4 TRM. If you go on my Insta, there's a link in my bio where you can go check out the website. Check that out. I have my first mixtape that I dropped. It's up for free download on the website. So if you go to the website, you get that for free. Also got merchandise for sale. Okay. So you go get you some YKR merch, Young King Royalty, you know.
Get your merch.
Support the kid, you know. For sure, but that's definitely that's it though, you know. Yes. And just be on the lookout. I mean, we trying to make some noise, so.
Hey, not trying or make
already.
Some noise.
Already.
Hey man, you heard it here with your favorite girl, a true lady. We out.